The client call ended at 2:47 p.m. I stayed on the line for 3 seconds after the video window closed. Then I unmuted. My manager was still there, so was the VP of product. My manager spoke first. "That went well. I think they're ready to move forward." The VP agreed. "Good work on the technical specs. That comparison chart sealed it." I'd spent 11 days building that chart, 16-hour days, cross-referenced 6 competitor products, mapped feature gaps, built the financial model showing 40% ROI in year 1. My manager nodded. "I thought the pricing strategy landed well." The VP said, "Definitely. That was the turning point." My manager continued, "I'll draft the proposal this week." The VP signed off. I opened my sent folder. There was an email from 4 days ago, sent to my manager at 11:36 p.m. Subject line: Client presentation, final materials. Attached: the comparison chart, the pricing model, the technical specifications, the contract structure. 17 pages. All my work. My name is Claire, and I was a senior analyst at a mid-sized SaaS company in Austin. 19 months in. I reported to the director of business development. He'd just taken complete credit for my work in front of his boss. I closed my laptop, opened my personal email, forwarded the timestamp documentation to myself. I didn't send it to anyone else. I just saved it. And I waited. The next morning, my manager sent a calendar invitation. Weekly check-in, Claire. Thursday, 3 p.m. Wednesday afternoon, he sent a company-wide email. Subject line: Client win, team update. It announced we'd secured a major new enterprise client. $840,000 annually. 3-year contract. My name appeared once. Special thanks to Claire for her support on research and data analysis. Support. Research. I'd built the entire proposal. I forwarded the email to my personal account, filed it in a folder labeled Project Attribution. Thursday arrived. At 3 p.m., I walked to my manager's office. "Claire, come in. Close the door." I sat. "I wanted to touch base on the client win. Great outcome." "Yes." "Going forward, I'd like you to keep me more involved in the development process. I need visibility into the strategy as it's being developed." "I sent you the full package 4 days before the presentation." "Right, but I mean earlier. I think this partnership can be really productive if we're collaborating closely." Partnership. Collaboration. I returned to my desk and opened a new document. Manager communication log. I added the date, time, summary. Saved it to my personal cloud storage. The following week, another enterprise prospect came through. Financial services. Larger deal. My manager forwarded it to me. Same format as the last one. Need it by end of next week. I spent 8 days building the analysis. 62 pages. Spreadsheets, charts, executive summary. I sent it at 6:43 p.m. My manager replied the next morning. "Thanks, I'll review and package this for the client meeting." The client meeting was the following Tuesday, 10 a.m. My manager didn't invite me. At 11:32 a.m., he messaged, "Call went well. They're interested." That afternoon, the VP emailed, "Excellent presentation. The pricing analysis was exactly what they needed." My manager replied, "Agreed. I'll draft the proposal this week." I saved the email chain. 3 days later, "Can you build out the implementation timeline?" I spent 16 hours on it. Sent it at 11:47 p.m. He replied at 7:22 a.m. "Perfect. Thanks." 4 days later, he sent the proposal to the client. I wasn't copied. I opened it. Every section I'd created was there. The cover page listed one author, my manager's name. I took screenshots, saved them with timestamps. The client responded. They had questions. Again, I wasn't invited to the call. My manager messaged, "Can you put together a detailed resource plan? Need it by Thursday." I worked 3 days on it, 43 pages. Sent it Thursday at 2:33 p.m. He forwarded it to the client at 2:41 p.m. 8 minutes later. No edits. Friday afternoon, another company-wide email. Major win. Enterprise contract signed. $1.2 million annually. 3-year term. Largest deal in company history. My name. Thanks to Claire and the analysis team for their research support. Research support. I'd built everything. That weekend, I organized it all. 18 documents. Every email. Every timestamp. Every instance of credit theft. Master timeline. 22 rows. 22 instances over 4 months. Saved to 3 cloud accounts. Backed up to external drive. Monday morning, HR sent a meeting invitation. Annual performance review. Claire. Friday, 9 a.m. Tuesday, the quarterly all-hands meeting. The CEO recognized my manager for exceptional work on client strategy and proposal development. My manager stood, accepted applause. I clapped politely, said nothing. After the meeting, the VP of product stopped by. Great work on those analyses. Your manager speaks highly of your research skills. Research skills. Friday arrived. Performance review. My manager started. Claire has been a solid contributor, reliable, detail-oriented. I've rated her as meets expectations. There's room for growth in strategic thinking. Meets expectations. The HR director looked at me. Feedback? I'd like to understand the strategic thinking rating. Specific examples? My manager. Strategic thinking is a senior level skill. You're excellent at execution, but strategy requires a broader perspective. The enterprise analyses I completed, were those strategic or executional? Good examples of detailed research. Did they inform our pricing strategy? They provided data that supported strategic decisions. Who made those decisions? The HR director interrupted. There's a distinction between conducting analysis and setting strategic direction. The review continued. My raise, 2.8%, below company average. I added everything to my documentation. That afternoon, I received an email from the financial services client, their COO. Claire, I have questions about the timeline you developed. Can we schedule a call? The COO had emailed me directly, not my manager. I replied, happy to help, Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon. Response, Tuesday at 2 p.m. works. I didn't copy my manager. Saved the exchange. Tuesday, 2 p.m. The COO joined the video call. Claire, thanks for making time. I wanted to discuss the implementation timeline directly since you built it. Of course. We're impressed with the detail. The dependency mapping shows deep understanding of our operational structure. She asked technical questions. I walked her through everything. Then, can I ask you something off the record? Sure. Your manager presented this to our board. He said he'd developed the framework and his team helped with details. But this feels like comprehensive strategic planning, not high-level framework. I chose my words carefully. I developed the full implementation timeline. Framework, dependencies, resource allocation, risk strategies. She nodded. I thought so. Every file has metadata showing you as the author. I hadn't thought about metadata. Claire, I'm going to be direct. We're paying $1.2 million annually. I need to know who's actually doing the strategic work. Is it you or your manager? I created all those documents. And your manager? He reviews them and presents them to clients. She was quiet. That's what I thought. Thank you for being honest. The call ended. I saved the recording, added it to my documentation. Wednesday morning, another email from the COO. Would you be open to joining our quarterly business review next month? We'd like the person who developed the strategy present. I replied, happy to attend. Should I coordinate with my manager? Her response, I'll reach out to him directly, but I'd like you there regardless. Thursday, my manager stopped by. The client wants you at their quarterly review. Yes, the COO asked me. He frowned. That's unusual. Those are executive level, but I'll attend as well. 3 days before the trip, the COO emailed again. Claire, can we meet at 9 a.m. before the review? Just you and me. I replied, yes. Didn't mention it to my manager. Okay, so I asked my friend to tell me the most unfunny joke he knows. Like I wanted something so dead inside, it circles back to being hilarious, right? And he just goes, totally serious. Why did the chicken cross the road? I'm already bracing myself. And then he hit me with it. To get to the other side. Bro, I don't know why that sent me. Like the chicken had no plot, no twist, just raw determination. Morning of the trip. We flew to Dallas. At the client's office, 8:55 a.m., the COO's assistant appeared. Claire, she's ready for you. My manager looked up. I'll join you. The assistant. I'm sorry, this meeting is just Claire. His expression shifted. I'm the account director. The COO specifically requested Claire alone. The full review starts at 10 o'clock. I followed the assistant. The COO was there. So was their CEO. Claire, thanks for coming early. This is our CEO, David. We sat. The COO. We've been reviewing the materials. The authorship metadata shows you as creator on every document. Yet your manager has presented the work as his own strategic development. I kept neutral. I'm not sure what you're asking. David, did you develop this work independently or under direction? Independently. He assigned projects, I completed them. Did he provide strategic guidance? He provided client requirements. I developed the strategy. The COO. We're entering a 3-year, multi-million-dollar engagement. We need to know the person driving strategy is actually engaged. What would give you that confidence? Having you as primary contact for strategic planning. That's not my decision. We understand, but that's our preference, and we plan to communicate that to your leadership. The quarterly review started at 10:02 a.m., client's full executive team present. The COO. We've received excellent strategic work from Claire. Can you walk us through the phased rollout? I presented. 40 minutes. Answered every question. My manager sat quietly. David spoke. This is exactly what we need. Claire, we'd like you as our primary contact. My manager. I'm happy to coordinate meetings. The COO shook her head. We'd like Claire to lead them. You're welcome to attend, but we want her driving strategy. I'm the account director. Standard protocol. David's expression didn't change. We're clarifying our preference. If that's a problem, we need to discuss it now. Silence. My manager. That's not a problem. On the flight back, he finally spoke. What happened in that pre-meeting? Technical questions. Did they ask who developed the materials? Yes. What did you tell them? The truth. His expression hardened. You undermined my position. I stated facts. Next morning, the COO emailed outlining new meeting structure. Weekly calls. Just her and me. She'd copied my manager, the VP of product, and our CEO. My manager replied, I'd like to join these calls. COO's response. You're welcome to join, but these are focused on technical strategy. Claire will update you. That afternoon, my manager called me in. The client's request is unusual. You need to be clear about team structure. I'm the account lead. You support me. The weekly calls started. After each one, I sent my manager a summary. He never responded. 3 weeks in, the COO sent urgent email. Integration issue. Needed recommendations by end of week. I built a comparison matrix. Sent it directly to her. Copied my manager. She replied within an hour. This is exactly what we needed. Friday, my manager called me in again. You sent recommendations without my review. You were copied. Being copied isn't reviewing. This is becoming a pattern. Wednesday, I received a meeting invitation from our CEO. Strategic account review. CEO, VP of product, my manager, me. Friday, 11 a.m. Friday arrived. The CEO. The client relationship has evolved unexpectedly. I'd like to understand what's happening. He looked at my manager for overview. My manager. The client requested more direct engagement with Claire on implementation details. VP of product. It seems like more than implementation details. CEO turned to me. How would you characterize your role? They've asked me to lead implementation, planning, and provide strategic recommendations. Why you specifically? They reviewed authorship metadata. They determined I'd created the strategic analyses. CEO frowned. What materials? The competitive analysis, pricing model, implementation framework. Who created those? I did. He looked at my manager. I thought you led proposal development. My manager. Claire did analytical work. I provided strategic direction. CEO. What direction specifically? Overall approach. Client requirements. CEO to me. Did you receive strategic direction? I received client requirements. I developed strategy and analysis independently. VP pulled up laptop. Email metadata shows Claire sent you the competitive analysis at 6:43 p.m. You forwarded to client at 7:22 a.m. No modifications. Silence. CEO. How many analyses has Claire completed in 6 months? My manager. 4 major projects, maybe 5. CEO to me. Is that accurate? 7 major analyses since January. Who developed the strategic approach? I did, based on client requirements. CEO quiet for a moment. Claire, can you provide a summary? What you created versus collaboration received? Yes, I have documentation. Can provide by end of day. Send it to me and copy HR. I compiled my 15-page report. Sent it at 4:37 p.m. Monday, HR sent invitation. Wednesday, 10 a.m., HR Director and General Counsel. Wednesday arrived. General Counsel. You've documented 7 projects. You developed strategy independently? Yes. Your manager provided strategic input? Client requirements and deadlines. Strategic development was mine. How was this attributed? In 3 cases, he presented it as his development. In 2, I was credited with research. In 2, my name wasn't mentioned. You created full analysis in all cases? Yes. Documentation of authorship? Email timestamps, document metadata, file creation dates. General counsel, the metadata is clear. HR director, why didn't you raise this earlier? I thought it might be standard practice. I documented the pattern in case it became relevant. When did you start? 4 months ago. Next morning, CEO emailed, please join me tomorrow, 9 a.m. Next day, 8:55 a.m., I arrived. CEO, I've reviewed your documentation, 7 strategic analyses, $4.3 million in contracts. Your manager presented all as his work. The client signed because of your analysis quality. They requested you because they want to work with who created the strategy. He closed his laptop. Effective immediately, you're promoted to senior strategist. You'll report to VP of product. You'll own the financial services account. Thank you. He extended his hand. You did the right thing documenting everything. I wasn't sure anyone would believe me without proof. Now you have proof. That afternoon, my manager walked out carrying a box. He saw me, stopped. We looked at each other for 3 seconds. Then he kept walking. I never saw him again. 3 months later, I was leading strategy for 4 major accounts, $6.2 million total. The financial services client renewed for 3 years. They requested me in the contract terms. I built a team, 3 analysts. I taught them to document everything. Not because I expected problems, but because documentation protects truth. 6 months after promotion, I ran into my former manager at a conference. Different company, lower title. He nodded across the room. I nodded back. We didn't speak. There was nothing left to say. I'd said everything that mattered in writing. And the work had spoken for itself.